Good night, people. Good night, man. Welcome once again to the Sports Friends the podcast. And I know that on Thursday you'll be normally looking forward to seeing Demo for the cricket podcast, but for tonight I'll be your host, man. And as you can see, I have the man that is basically just the same as I am. We can call ourselves all rounders. I'm talking about Devin. Welcome once again, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Wonderful.
Good, man.
So there's a lot of things in cricket that we have to discuss. And I want to leave West Indies for the middle section of the show because that is where a lot of people tune in. So we're just going to try to clear a few things first up. So we know that Australia slapped up England the other day, and since then there's been a lot of people being let go by England. Andrew Strauss has been selected as manager, I think, and he has gotten rid of the coach, the person that were responsible for selection. While also see players like Stuart Broad has been a great for them, Jimmy Anderson has been a great for them, Just Butler, and all those guys dropped from their team to come back to the West Indies to play the Test series. Now, do you think that it's an overreaction because they got slapped up by Australia, or you think that some of these guys, time for them to walk away from the team?
Well, well, first of all, I'm looking at the justification for it to say, yo, it's one of the biggest rivalry in cricket, and there's some political aspect to it with the whole Ashes thing, from way back. So I figure if it was like the same result, if it was the same result that England would have faced against a different opposition, the axe may not have been rolling that much, but it's against Australia, the Ashes and everything. So it's just always a talking point for that. So I think some of those old guys, should have been moving along, even like Broad on them. They're good and all of that, but like England has so much talent level on. So this happens. This may be a blessing in disguise for England, where some of those guys can step aside. Like me for once, a situation like this, I don't think there's so much blame on the coach as much as it is just a lackluster performance by the team overall. You know, it,
Facts.
like I always say, we're coach compare coach to football and cricket. You can say we're all right. Coach never make certain substitution. Coach never adapt this. In cricket, you just got to be more on the players. Like you pick a man to bowl. There's not much you can tell him to change strategy. It's just the bowler has to know what to do. So I think it's a blessing in disguise for England. They can hit the reset button and see how much they can you know getting some younger talent in there, because they have a lot of talent in England.
Facts.
I have a lot of talent, so some of these guys can definitely push for younger. And like for me, for once, I always think that this guy from a longer time with his older with all his bowling attack. One of my favorite players named Flynn. What name? What a tall bowler.
Finn?
Finn.
Stephen Finn.
Yeah, I always like that guy from England. I think he didn't get enough chance because of all of the talent. He may have been too late now. I don't know if he can make back the team, but it could be a case where some of the young bowlers there can really get a chance to show themselves.
But here what's the thing though, Devin?
Hmm.
They got rid of, and here's Christoph saying, welcome Michelle, big up yourself, Leon Price, and big up to our people on Facebook that are tuning in. Please just jump over to YouTube and ensure that you like the video. So Christoph saying that's a big decision by Sir Andrew because Broad and Anderson were still bowling good. That is true.
Yes.
But here what's the thing now that they're facing? They got rid of these two guys. No, their straight bowler right now is Mark Wood. Mark Wood is the man, and then here's a problem that they may face. Mark Wood is a player that cannot stay fit. This
No,
man
no.
will give you some tests back to back in, and then after that, breaks down. Now you look at their next outcome. Ollie Robinson. Yes, he has bowled good in patches, but in terms of consistency, and he's still relatively new to Test cricket. So you don't really want to shoulder all the pressure on these guys at this young stage, although probably
There's
just
still there's still Wokes.
yeah,
Chris
but
Wokes.
he's inconsistent just the same.
Right.
So that's it. That's the issue, and boy, I mean, it was a tough decision, and they probably know where they're heading to because I'm just going to go over into the next topic that is going to lead me to one. Justin Langer. You know this one because you have seen him battle before and all
Yeah.
that. He was the coach of Australia. Won World Cup the other day, beat up England in Test the other year also. So you know that he has walked away from the Australian job for whatever reasons. And I heard Pat Cummins came out and said that they needed someone more. I don't quite remember the term that he used, but Justin Langer was like a disciplinarian. He was like that person. He was sturdy in terms of his decision making, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that they need someone who was more. I don't want to misquote them, but I'm going to use comfort as the word. Someone that is more comforting, someone that can be closer to the players. No, Justin Langer is out of a job. Could you possibly see him in the English dugout?
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, I whoa. But if he really needs a job, he may go for it. But I don't see him taking it. I think the whole, from two perspectives, he may not want to do it because of some backlash that he may face. And
Mm-hmm.
two, I'm not sure if England itself, the whole setup that the board actually want that, and also the backlash that
Actually,
they get.
Strauss never roll it out, you know.
Right. Shows me not rule it up, but like, and then I I'm just looking at that, the backlash that both,
Mm-hmm.
especially from the England board, saying that there's a lot more qualified people there within the English system that they could use. And like I said, go back to the main point where this big rivalry between both teams to be employing an Australian for the job. It's a big one, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Now we're going to come back closer to home and talk about some regional cricket because I know that the regional 4 days started yesterday, I believe it was, and boy, Jamaica just keep on getting worse and worse and worse. Over the years, I mean, from Tamar Lambert walked away, Jamaica hasn't been the same, and people used to curse on this man because they said that he's not good enough. But as a captain, Lambert was basically the glue of the Jamaican setup. But no, it took on the Trinidad and Tobago team, and first Jamaica batted and make 141 in 51.4 overs. This team was at what 72 for one at lunch and got
Mm.
the remaining 9 wickets for around 69 runs. So bad there already. No, Jeremy Blackwood top scored with 44, and this lollipop spinner Brian Charles, and I'm not talking about Lara. Brian Charles he picked up like 6 of 48. No, it was Trinidad Turner, but they closed the day on 234 for 6. Yannick Correa made 72, and this guy Raja made 58. Nicholson Garden to 3 for 51. No, over the years, Devin, it just seems like Jamaica Scorpion, Jamaica Talawas, the Jamaican franchises just don't seem to be doing well in
Right.
regional cricket. No, where do you see the issue lie? Do we nitpick on things, or is just a collaborative thing that is has been happening? It's just an accumulation of bad management that is now showing light.
I think it's a combination of both. Because like when you talk about bad management, and there's always some issues from when not Nikita Miller was there. There's always some issues about like a division within the side. You know what I mean? Miller, and there were some people who were aligned to him, and there was just always some infighting. And that time, during that time, we were winning with Miller, and like you said, Lambert, and them times it's like we were unbeatable. But there were some issues afterwards. It would have been highlighted. Demo don't like Marlon Summers, but Marlon Summers also used to review some of these things. But when I look at it overall, put that beside, look at the talent aspect again. Jamaica producing some talent, but then now look at this Trinidadian team, man. Right? We have you have Da Silva
Mm-hmm.
batting in the Trinidadian team there. Get what I'm saying? You don't you have a couple test players there in this Trinidad squad that are
Seals,
playing.
even Jaden Seals. Jaden Seals
Seals
just
is there
it's his
playing.
first game, and he picked up two first regional 4 day game.
Yeah, right. Who do we have for we play that has been on the West Indies there that
Blackwood
is
and
there?
Campbell.
You know what I mean? There's Blackwood, there's Campbell. Campbell has been discarded. Only Blackwood you can say because it's like you can see that the selectors are moving on from Campbell. And this other guy, one name saw the guy that got hit Is he with the yeah man, the guy who got hit the other day. Remember that young left-hander? Which tour he was on the other day, and he got hit in the head, man. On West Indies was playing a
Yeah, I
young,
remember you talking, but he's sleeping right now.
the left one, and he has a weird name. I think
Is
he's
it
in the
Shane Mosley?
no name. So I don't even know. He didn't even get to play the game for us to see what
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
currently
about.
forgetting him, but I know I have
That
idea what you're talking.
but
Salazar, no.
yes, but he's also I think he's in the Trinidadian team.
I don't think he played today though.
Right. But like those are guys where they're looking. You can see where West Indies is going towards them. So it's still in the setup.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think unless John Campbell makes century after century after century, that's the only way the selectors will look back towards him. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So overall, talent wise, it teams are just better than our team at the moment. I don't know what we're gonna look at like from a younger stage with our cricket in Jamaica to see how we can develop. But trust me, the teams it's just better. When you look at even Guyana, Etmire, right? It's just because of his fitness. Etmire is in there, who is seen to be a premier talent in the West Indies. You have a lot of other guys in there too. You have Parmesan and all those guys who play cricket already for West Indies, but they are back in the regional setup. We don't have much of that. So it has something to do with the talent over the years. That's to do with like us managing the team as well. And people can always go to team selection saying that there are people there who should have not been there. But when you compare to what we have compared to the other regional thing, it with the better teams like Guyana and Trinidad. It's like night and day with the selection or with selection pool for talent.
All right, so now you look at it. What do you think could be possibly done to bridge the gap between Jamaica and the rest of these teams?
Uh, well, it has to do with the youth cricket because I you talk about like for football and for cricket overall. It's like we gotta look at the under, the schoolboy cricket. All these guys are transitioning like from schoolboy over into the Jamaica national setup. They gotta play more. I don't know how they can like play more cricket, competitive cricket. So I remember when they used to have like you have Jamaica under 15. You have just like with football, where people have like after they leave out at the high school setting, you have a thing where you can play for Jamaica under 19, Jamaica under 15. I don't know how much is that there for cricket that we can play and then can seek to aspire to make even the West Indies team. So we got to have just people playing more cricket because there's still an under 19 component. There's still a lot of component from a West Indies perspective where they can aspire to. So we got to get these kids involved in the cricket and we play more cricket, spot these talent from early out and try to encourage them to be a part of it. Like you see the whole thing where a lot of these players trying to be a part of a Manning Cup team. How much of these guys who are playing cricket really want to be a part of a Headley Cup team? How much of these guys want to play cricket for their school? Because when they go to these games, what's somebody gonna look at them?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna no girl ask nobody when they play cricket. No girl watch them when they play cricket. You know?
Nice facts. And to what we asked earlier, and here's Leon Press saying that for Jamaica's cricket administration, I also
Yes.
see Christoph saying that the man get a dead track to bat on and make Brian Charles a bowl them out. That's facts.
Christoph, exactly. Since evening, because I didn't realize when I go on YouTube, you can watch some of the games are live on. And then since even I was watching the highlights for the Jamaica and Trinidad thing, I'm saying, wait, just to Christopher was saying, is this the same pitch? And who is this guy? Who is this guy that can't you say bowl him out? Like I was saying, if it was somebody like a Permal or them man, normally dominate regional cricket. I don't see I never hear about this guy. Yeah, so the guy that I'm telling you about, yeah. Yeah, he's Salazar. Yeah, you had mentioned his name earlier. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Misha saying that Jamaica Cricket frustrating to me right now. Need to get the kids interested and provide them with proper coaching to develop correct technique from early. Here's Chris was saying that he have an injured finger or something like that. The youth named Isaiah replace him. And there's also Michelle saying that get into the kids early before the bad habits set in. Here's also Leon saying that coaching issue need more development for youth cricket. Get it from early. And here's Christoph also saying that more focus need to be placed on the youth cricket. I played Kingston or under 14. I can't remember when last I hear that competition played.
That's what I'm talking about. Excellent point there. Yeah.
And just as you mentioned about the Trinidad team and all these teams, when I look at Trinidad, yeah, people might frown upon Imran Khan as the captain because they know that he has been around for a good while now, right? But then in terms of West Indies experience,
Yes.
look at this man right here, Joshua Da Silva. That is West Indies number one keeper right now. Then you have Shannon Gabriel. That man is a part of the West Indies team. You have Jason Mohammed. This man was a part of the West Indies team.
Yes.
Anderson Phillip. This was a man that was part of the West Indies side just the other day. Carey Pierre, West Indies international again.
Yes.
Julian Seals and also Jeremy Salazano. But I heard that Salazano didn't really take part. So this guy, Isaiah Raja, he's the one that is currently not out on 50th. And sometimes I don't know what some of these bowlers think because I think Marquino Minley, this guy has been around the Jamaican setup for a very long while. And the reason why I point him out, all right, they just got a batsman out, Zine Devin.
Yes.
A batsman that was batting good. Now, a new batsman come in and from this man come out, I can say the man literally a shake. Why is it that you're going to greet the man first up with a short pitch delivery? Why not greet him with a Yorker or something like that, tempting outside the off stump?
Yes, man. Yes. Yeah.
Because I was watching some parts of the Jamaica game. I was like, doesn't these bowlers think that, hey, if your ball is short, more than likely the batsman is going to duck. So why not pitch it up so instantly he has to play? Because we have heard commentators over the years and we have seen cricket over the years that a batsman doesn't like when it's on that fourth or fifth stump at the beginning of his innings. That's where he's unsure of his off stump. So why not pitch it in that period of uncertainty instead of bowling the short ball where the batsman just going to duck and eventually get comfortable as this guy has proven no he's on 58 not out.
Right. And it's not a situation, Levon, where because I don't think that they're doing that. It's not a situation where you know that a player's coming in and the player coming in he has a definite weakness towards the short ball. So based on your strategy and your plan, yes, you know you want to give him that first, like I get your point what you're saying to pitch it up in the corridor of uncertainty, like that they call it. But it's not like a situation where, so that guy definitely don't like the short ball, and you have because they can not like the short ball and it's be a weakness level on, but you have to have the right man for that.
Facts.
So because some like you said, you can bowl a short ball and the man can duck.
That's exactly what they did.
Ball, he go wide and whatever, anything. So you have to have the almost perfect. That Yorker, going back to that Yorker and
never
it up, the Yorker cannot even be a half volley, and you get the man out with it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You can over pitch.
You know what time was that, Devin? You know what time was about go after the Yorker and it just turned out to be a half volley. But guess what? Because the batsman wasn't prepared, he get caught. Simple.
Yeah. Because guess what? The key thing what I say, you make him play. Facts. So if it may not be perfect, but you get him to play, you can get him out. But it has to be perfect.
You remember the day when West Indies played against England and that same delivery that Demo and you and I were discussing about Odin Smith. Yes, it might have been down the leg side, but guess what? It was directed at the batsman. So yes, when you make them play, that is the key to getting a batsman out. Because if you see a ball will look like you're not gonna do, I'm not gonna just leave it alone.
Exactly.
I'm not in no rush. So it's just a tricky situation. And yes, Drizella saying that kids nowadays are not interested in cricket like back in the days. They have no one to look up to or emulate. Here's Christoph saying that most of the other team are full of either West Indies representative or young talented players coming through. Here's Leon saying that glad them show the game them live. Yeah, man, I like it. And since we're in Jamaica, here's their team. And trust me, David, I don't think you know most of these guys.
No.
So, as I said,
Paul Palmer. Merchant has been around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blackwood, Campbell. Most of these guys, I don't know them, to be honest.
Because when I look at the team, you see a John Campbell as captain, you see Brad Barnes, people scratch it. Who's that guy? You see Jeremy Blackwood, you know him. Gordon Bryan, scratch it again. Who's this guy? Nicholson Garden has been run for a while, and also Derval Green. Patrick Carty has been around for a while. But
Mhm.
Leroy Lug, people are going to ask, who's this guy again? People, some might know Kirk McKenzie because he was part of the Jamaica Talawas set up the other day in CPL.
Right.
As I mentioned, Merchant has been around for a while. Minley also has been around for a while. You look at Romain Morris. Who is this guy? People ask, Alwyn Williams, who is this guy? Horan Williams, who is this guy? So, bro, it's like the talent pool for Jamaica has just gotten worse over the years, and it doesn't seem like it's about to stop any minute now. Because even when I look at the West Indies under 19 that took part in the under 19 World Cup the other day, there weren't many Jamaicans on that team. So, boy,
Right. Right.
it's a tricky situation. Now we're going to look at another game before we eventually get to West Indies. So we're just going to look at the two games. So, um, in the next game, we'll see Guyana taking on Windward Islands. So Windwards batted first, and they made 339 off 106.2 overs. Preston McSween, and I believe that guy bats at number 7 or number 8 thereabouts. He made 86. And there is this guy, I think his name is Lewis. He made like 30 or 40 because they had a very long partnership at the back end of the
Right.
inning. In that innings for them, Budakesh Moti, a guy that we talked about many times on this
Mhm.
show. He picked up 4 for 62. Then you have Guyana in return. They are what 181 for 5 after 49 overs. Vishal Singh on 40. The same Lewis guy has taken 3 for 47. And I think I have the Guyana side. Give me a second, I'll bring it up. So yep, here it is. The Ghanaian side is captained by Leon Johnson. You know that he made West Indies side a
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah. Leon Johnson. Yeah.
Anthony Adams, I don't know that guy. Bramble has been around for a good while now. Taj Narayan, the son of Shiv. Then you have Shanda Paul Emraj, you know him as well, been in
Mhm.
CPL for whenever long. You have Shimran Etmaya. You have this guy, Tevin Imlak. I believe he was part of West Indies under 19, about 2 years ago. You also have Kian Joseph. He's another one that was there. As I mentioned, Gudakesh Moti. We know Kimo Paul. We know Veersamy Pramal.
Mhm.
With Vishal Singh, I know him, and this is a guy that I'm impressed by. Nile Smith. I really have a lot of time for this guy because I think he's one that could develop into a very good bowler for even West Indies cricket. So, yeah, not a bad team for Guyana, but boy, he's just so bad on Jamaica part. Yeah, next
Exactly.
game.
Because when you look at it, yeah, look at all those West Indies representative.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was saying, look, yeah, back to the point we were saying from earlier, like in terms of the talent wise and people, even we look at it. Oh, remember, this is domestic cricket we're talking about because one time when you see a man make West Indies team, man, that man real good enough, Evan. Nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
someone who used to make the team, you say, you make West Indies team, but he's not that good. But the point is, we're looking at it from our domestic situation. Is the mere fact that you can make the West Indies team, that means you're saying you're maybe better than most of the players within the region. We're
Mm-hmm.
not comparing the talent to other cricketing nations and the international scene. We just look like from a domestic perspective. So it goes back to what we're saying. Look at all these players that you said they have some form of West Indies experience compared to the Jamaican situation.
And here's also the Windward Islands team. So in
Mm-hmm.
their team, they have Kavemaj as the captain. They have Alec Athanaze. This guy was setting the role of lighting under 19 couple years ago, but has fallen off.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Akeem Auguste. You have Teddy Bishop. This guy just recently come back from under 19 World Cup. He was West Indies standout. You have Karen Katai, Daryl Cyrus. You have, so who is that? Kenneth Demba. You ask again, who is that? Larry Edward. Yeah, I know that guy has been around for a decent while now. You have Ryan John. You have who that again? Sherman Lewis. You might ask who that again. As I mentioned, Preston McSween. He was top scorer. Kiman Emilius. He was the next one that was standout for West Indies under 19, but it's fallen off. Dennis Smith. You ask again, who is that? And the wily old fella who's still around.
Still
Evans.
around.
He made a decent amount of runs today as well. I believe he made over 50, I think. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have a Josh Thomas fellow. But um ES Drizilla saying that none of them name they don't strike fear.
No, no, yeah.
Here's Kemar saying that West Indies representative doesn't make me feel good. But in the next game, it was Barbados that took on Leewards, and Leewards first batted and made 172 for 9. Barbados in return made 324, and they were led by Shamar Springer. That guy was good in under 19 World Cup. I think you probably remember him when he ran out the player.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah. I
was
remember that. Yeah, man, I remember that. I remember that.
he made 91, and a much maligned Shane Dorich made 86. They put on a 175 runs partnership, and this is where I'm going to stop for a minute because Joshua Da Silva has been producing the goods with the bat.
Hmm?
So my question is, if the Shane Dorich guy can make a decent amount of runs in this 4-day championship, do you bring him back into the fold or you just move on past him totally?
Like for me,
Mm-hmm.
none of these guys you would say, all right, they lock it down already. You know, because some people used to was questioning Shane Dorich wicket keeping ability. You know, the talk is like Da Silva is a much better keeper than him. I don't know if he's much better than him. You know, but I mean, when you look at them in terms of their keeping skills, you would say, for me, I'll give like out of 10. Wherever you put any of them, one is like a 2 points greater than the other. So if one is 3, the other is 5. If one is 7, the other is 5. Y'all get it. Y'all smart with simple math. There's nothing to do with smart. So if one is producing more runs, it's not like there's a night and day in terms of the glove keeping with one. Like you say, Levon, this one is at 9. Da Silva is at 9, and Shane Darvish is at 3. So you say that's night and day. So you take him for the thing, even though he may not be that better batsman. So if a guy is producing, making all these runs, you know, and the other one is not making the runs, you say that's the form guy. You take the form guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I would look at. That's how I would reason it because none of them is not a lockdown select. You know, like some other teams where the wicket keeper, you can say besides the captain, the wicket keeper is next
Mm-hmm.
because he's that important and he's making that runs and he's that good. It's not a situation for him. So, and really and truly, he didn't really fail when he was in the team. It's just like the injury came in, and then Da Silva was making some runs, and I like he failed
Yeah, man.
this
Remember that some things went down in the behind the scenes.
that too, you know. So yeah, I would like the competition is always good. The competition is always good for a team like West Indies that's struggling.
Facts.
You know, so if you come back, you're giving that, but Da Silva is there and producing, then you keep it.
Mm-hmm. Also in that game, Demon's favorite cricketer Rakeem Cornwall took 4 for 99, and this guy
Mm.
Colin Archibald took 3 for 47. So since we're on that, here's a Barbados spread team, and this side is stacked. Captain by Craig Brathwaite, West Indies captain. You
Mm-hmm.
have Jonathan Carter, former West Indies cricketer as well. Shane Dorich, as I just mentioned. You have Jonathan Drakes, Justin Graves, who was just in the team the other day. You have
Yes,
Ian Harding. You have this guy, Kaim Alexis Older. And you also have Shemar Older, who played Test
my
cricket.
bowler that thing, man. That's my bowler, brother.
So Shemar Older.
Yes, man. My bowler that man. I like Shamar bowlers and boy.
Okay. I like this guy, Akeem Jordan. He
Mm-hmm.
impressed me with his bowling as well. You have Shane Mosley. You
Whoa,
also
a
have,
big team, this man.
you also have Raymond Reefer, who was part of the Ghana team that did very well just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You have Shamar Spring, as I just mentioned. You have Jomel Warwick, West Indies cricketer. Remember, I bowled good that just the other day in the Test series.
Yeah, yeah.
You have the Stephen Walcott guy. I believe he plays for I think it's Trinbago Knight Riders in the CPL, and they have Raman Simmons. So as you mentioned, Devin, this is a stacked team for Barbados.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's Christoph saying that I'm a big Dutch fan. If he's given as a batter only, I would carry him in the team. If he score runs in the competition, him and Springer, that should that should the century today. Yeah, that's facts because they were going well until just for some stupid decisions they ended up giving it away. But generally, this is what we have been accustomed to when it comes down to West Indies cricketers. They might be in a good position to score a big ton, and then because of moments of concentration, which they generally lack over the years, they just throw it away. But I'm just going to show the squad, and I get to West Indies. And here's the Leeward Islands team. So it is being led by Jamar Hamilton. He also has Colin Archibald, Kesey Carty, Rakeem Cornwall, Daniel Durham, Nino Henry, Manson Edge, that guy's been around for a minute now. You have Kofi James, Amir Django, Jeremiah Louis, Kian Pemberton, Karen Powell, Russ Powell, Devon Thomas, and Terrence Ward. So now we're going to move over to the topic that we are basically here to discuss. But before I get to that, here's Drizla saying that Dash hosting this cricket for in business venture. And here's Alan saying that seeing that there's a lot of new faces, don't know most of the players. Yeah, that's most of us. But no, Devin, we called it the other day. I remember Dean was sketchy, when you and I came out and said that whitewash. You and I were plain straightforward
Yeah.
with it. Straight whitewash. We don't trust them in ODI. So you remember some another thing that we mentioned that Demo kind of frowned upon a bit. This Darren Bravo guy. 2 games in the ODI series so far, and he has failed in both of them. But yeah, what we're going to get to the players eventually. But first of all, the 2 games that you have seen of them so far, is there anything at all that you have been impressed by?
It's just that it's just one. I don't know who. I just have one thing to say what we were talking about. Where with the emergence, just one point that come out with the emergence of all these all rounder, right? Smith and yo, I don't know what these commentators talking about. If there's a thing where they know that they're gonna get picked up by a team, because even sometimes Smith not doing anything on the Indian commentators just all over the man, like them just appraising. So you have Smith, you have Shepherd, you have these Smith Shepherd, you have what one name again?
All that's basically the same as well. All that's in
Yeah,
the already
yeah,
second
yeah.
place.
But I want besides Ola, Smith, Shepherd, there's another one, Rutherford, who because of the fitness thing, right? All these emerging all around there. And the talk was about probably we should just let Ola stick to test cricket, because he's playing all 3 format, give him some break. But I'm just glad because I said no, I want Ola. I think Ola is still either these guys. He has the experience and he has shown, sometimes he may go for a lot of runs, but he has shown that he can do it even in the IPL when, he came down here and he was doing well. So I'm glad that he's performing. He's performing because the first game, I think he got a 50. That's just my
Yeah,
takeaway from all of
57.
that. So all of these guys, I would say yes, Smith and all of them, Shepard and everybody else, but Older is holding his own against high quality team. You know?
Yep.
So even if there's a talk, sometimes the only way he should not be playing unless they rest him, because he's playing all 3 formats. That's just what I'm saying. That's the only way he should not be playing. Not because they say, all right, we want to give somebody else a chance and see what they can do. No, Ola is still above these guys.
But here was the issue, and we discussed it the other day. So, all right, in the first game, that they batted first, and they made what 176, I believe it was. Shade made 8,
Yes.
King 13, Bravo 18,
18, yeah.
Brooks 12, Puran 18. Bro, them people are like, then give you a glimmer of hope, and then in an instant, then just bring it right back down to earth. That has been Nicholas Puran in a nutshell. He looks good for this game, and then he bring it right back down to earth. Pollard, a first ball duck.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Holder made 57. Akilo saying a first 3 ball duck. Fabian Allen made 29. Joseph made 13, and Roach was the final man and not. First game, that same guy that caused them havoc in the second game, Prasid Krishna, he bought 10 overs, 2 for 29. Shah Al got 4 for 49. So now you look at them from a batting perspective. It was Older that really just stood up and hold his hand. We can't really highlight anybody else. Otherwise, my person, probably Fabian Allen.
Yeah.
They probably batted and he made that 29 and 43. So he was trying to bat. Because generally when it called Fabian Allen, you expect to hear 43 of 29 instead of the other way around. So he was trying to be there at the wicket. But the rest of them, they folded, man. And
all right.
Yeah, what's the thing, Devin, that I want to point out? With West Indies, and I said it, in T20s and also ODI, it seems that they don't know what they want to do. They don't know if they want to attack or whether they want to accumulate their runs. Because this minute you see a moment of aggression, the next minute you just then gone to block. So it seems that they don't have a particular mindset or a game plan as to how they're going to go about constructing their innings. And
True.
As a team, if you're going to do that, you know that you're in for failure already. Because if you look at the top teams, you notice that you have one man at the top that is the aggressor. You have a next one that is going to accumulate. And that is how most top teams deal with it. Now, when you look at West Indies, do you see any of that?
Nah. And then a point with the batting that they were talking about when we were on the last podcast too. I don't see there's no clear plan. All right, as you said. But remember when we were talking about like having Brandon King, having Shea Hope, having Brooks, and even Bonner, all of these players, and Steve, I think Steve was making a point, and even Bravo, they're like the same thing. Goes back to about planning. It's like they can't. You're not gonna expect one to be attacking the bowling. You know, there's no plan. So when I look at the game, then all right, Steve was saying like these guys will like use up a lot of balls and then bat there use up the balls, not trying to turn over the strike rate. But in that first game, Hope got out after facing 10 ball, 8 runs, right? Brandon King, I think he got out after facing like, let me look at it, 26 balls.
Yeah.
So it's like they weren't there using up all these balls. So like the opportunity was there, Levon, for somebody else to come there and bat for long. You know, between Poor and even Bravo. It was a perfect opportunity for Bravo. Faced 34 ball, made it 18. But the opportunity was there for somebody to bat long. It's not like these guys use up all of these balls and then the overs were running out. Overs are running out. So a man just have to come in and play some shots. Just have to come in and play some shots because there's not much time. The opportunity was there for these guys to play the nature of their game and bat long. So nobody did that. You know, all did the best where that is concerned. So we talk about it like saying these guys are like the same, but like nobody was trying to stand up. All right, say okay, but then for even if you face 80 balls, right, and you only give me 50 runs, you know that's a poor strike rate still, but at least there's 50 runs. At least there's 50 runs. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. So the opportunity was there for the bat and play their game where they can take their time. And like you said, there was nobody planning in terms of like who's going to attack the ball and who's going to do this. Like what, we don't have to be in the room or hear what other coaches say at the end of their game for the press conference to know what their team strategy was. We don't have to hear that. We could see what the clear strategy was for some of these teams. You know?
I'm not sure if you heard Murali Kartik on commentary. I believe it was him and Ian Bishop, and they were speaking about Sheo, I believe it was, because you know that he has a very good average in India. I think he is
yes. Mm-hmm. Go
So
ahead.
he said that yes, he might accumulate his runs at 80 at a strike rate of 80 in the context of West Indies and even world cricket. That's not really bad as long as you know that you have those big hitters at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem now is that Shea Hope has failed to do that in the series, and it's because he has failed to do it so far. Nobody else has held their hand up and said, "Hey, since Shea can't do it or is incapable of doing it right now, I'm going to take the maturity level from him now. I'm going to be the mature person in this situation, and I'm going to bat through." Because at the end of the day, even if say you soak up some deliveries, you know that Odin Smith, Alzari Joseph, Fabian Allen, and those guys, they don't want to come with a lot of deliveries to face. Those
No.
guys want to come down and go from ball one. So this is the problem with them, and Shea Hope hasn't done it this series so far, and nobody else has decided that they're going to step up.
But then Levon, you see, that's another thing too, where I kind of have a problem with that mentality where they're saying, okay, they don't want, there's not that willingness there to bat long, even though these guys are big hitters and they're, the T20 format will serve. But like when I hear in his audience, Smith has been doing well, but they ask him, what's the plan, strategy? All right, just take it deep. Like that was what you were saying. And Ian Bishop and the commentator keep saying, oh, the situation has arrived for him now. He said to take it deep. They're all the way down. And he was like, it was just him batting with, was batting with again in the second game. So they did take it deep with a lot of people, and a lot of people got out, and the opportunity was there for him to just go at it. He didn't materialize because, when he came in, it was the perfect time to play his game. So even if he got out, people are going to say, oh, yeah, he was trying to chase after the runs, But, like, you go in the game with that mentality. So guess what up now? Suppose half of the team out early. You don't think you could at least try and bat and play a normal cricketing shot, even though that's the nature of your game to try and stick around and make some runs. I don't know if that's the right approach to say, okay, that's what we want. Just take it deep and I'll come in and just go after the ball.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good that you have been joined by Stephen. Welcome again, bro. We're just on your favorite team now, fam, and we're going to discuss that second game because, all right, here's the top power that failed. They did fail, but Akil Hussain was playing the cricket on a situational basis. This is what we talk about. And no, Steven is big on this guy because Steven said that this is one of the guy that thinks the cricket. So he was thinking the cricket and playing the ball on this merit. No, I don't know what got into Akil, and Akil said that he's going to start to attack because there was still enough ball remaining to get those runs. Even Fabian Allen, because even the ball that he got out to, he chased that delivery basically because he never needed to go for the full-blooded cut there. So even though they lost all those top wickets at the top order, do you think that they did bad at the back end of the innings chasing the run, Stephen?
No, no. If you realize the ball that got Akil out, it was the ball that it was a bouncer, kind of in his rib cage, and Akil Hussain is coming on with the bat. But really and truly, we can say he's a tail ender that's improving. So if you give a tail ender that's improving, a bouncer, directed bouncer on a bouncy pitch, he's gonna get out. Fabian just coming back into the cricket, so I can't kill him too much. And Odin had to go when he came in. So I don't think I'm too disappointed with them, but I was more disappointed with Shamar Brooks. He was set, and it's not a pitch that you can time and drive the ball over the top. You have to either swing through the line or get to the pitch of it. You can't just drive and, just time it. It's not one of those pitches. So I was more concerning. If he was able to make a 60 or 70, we could have won the game.
But you kind of join a bit late. So overall, the first game, what do you have to say about that? Because man, we ask again, what is Pollard's purpose in the team? Is it to just captain? What is purpose in the ODI team?
I made an observation. I've been looking around at I was listening to you guys before I came on the regional 4-day,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been very disappointed. I'm happy for Shane Dorwich, coming back, but I was watching. I think the lead was Smith, Devon Thomas was batting well. Then there are 100 and something for 2 RP. I say yes. Finally, we're going to get a 400 or something. And when I look 100 and something for 9. So, when you look around the different franchises, no Hetmeyer, no Craig Brathwaite, no Jermaine Blackwood. And these are mainstays of the West Indies team. I mean, pardoning Hetmeyer. And none of them could stand up and bat and even make a 80. None of them.
Right.
It's the same Devon Smith. Shane Dorwich trying to make a point, so he has to make runs. Not even Joshua Da Silva. None of them. Jamaica, I don't know, 90 odd for 1 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, 60 odd for 2 and then 99 for 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, why I'm saying all of this is because the state of West Indies cricket is showing us now that probably for the next 5 to 10 years in the longer formats, we're not going to do very well. Because we cannot bat good quality bowling for long periods. Not even Kyron Pollard. We're just not good. And to think that in the West Indies, it's not Kemar Roach and Jason Holder bowling in one place, No disrespect to the other bowlers. But it's not Jasprit Bumrah, Ishan Sharma.
Facts.
Right? And Shadab Khan and Rashid Khan is not them bowling. And none of these mainstays can stand up and bat. So what do you expect to happen? We'll go on a spinning wicket with quality bowling. That's what I realized.
I said it in a Stephen that when you look at it, Brian Charles wasn't doing much with the ball, bro, and he got 6 wickets.
Yes. So and what the Indians did is that they wore us out. They didn't have to set people for the boundary because they know that our defensive technique cannot withstand 50 overs of good quality bowling. It cannot.
Facts.
And the 4 day that's going on now is testament to that. So, and as it relates to Pollard, I think we perform better without him. But he's just one of the many average all rounders that we have. If we're bringing back Russell, he has not been performing. If we
Facts.
bring, yeah, so apart from probably Jason Hole and probably Audience coming to the fore, we don't really have a quality all rounder right now.
So yes, West Indies out for test cricket and ODI. Just
For
focus
the
on
next
T20.
5 to 10 years, we're gonna have mediocre performances unless our bowlers, which our bowlers are not bad by our standards, come
True.
and do something great. If they don't do something great, that's it.
Because as I mentioned, we have quality bowlers now because Jaden Seals just what 20 now, I believe. He's
Yes,
good.
yes,
As I
yes,
said, I'm impressed by the guy from Guyana, Niall Smith, because I think he's one that can develop. So
yes,
you have a next one right there. And if you look around, as Devin said, Shemar Holder is his cricketer. Shemar Holder is a next one that has basically been shunned upon. So you
yes.
have the bowlers just that when you look at the batting aspect now, that is where you start scratching your head and say, hey, where are them? Shamar Springer, who knows? You might very see Shamar Springer spring up come at the end of the series, So,
That's true.
all right, it's a tricky situation right now. Let's hope that they get this started out. But even in that same second game, I think the mindset was total negative toward Krishna. Yes, he was getting bounced because that he's tall, so he generally gets bounced. But this is something that I've always have an issue with West Indies cricket overall. Why is it that you let a bowler come in, get into his stride, and settle? Because that's what they did now. They just allow him to settle, and once he got into rhythm, there's no way they could get him out of it. I remember at one point this guy bowled like 6 overs for around 4 runs, and I was like, damn, are we playing what sort of cricket are we playing? Is this test cricket? And he ended up with figures of 9 overs and 4 wicket for 12 runs. I was like, damn man, you
But
mean to
Levan,
tell
if we cannot barely defend our wicket against quality, pace and spin, you think we're gonna actually stand up and bat and punch a ball through the gaps while the man is on top? It won't happen. We're not that good. It's just the fact.
that's true, that's true. But no, it's down to the final game and it will take place tomorrow, start at 3 a.m. I believe it is.
Yeah.
Are there any glimmer of hope whatsoever that West Indies can salvage a win in this final game? Because this is West Indies now. You know West Indies play. When it doesn't matter, when the series already won, that is when West Indies turn up. Do you see them doing so tomorrow, David?
Nah. Like from where the other podcast the other day, we said they're gonna get the whitewash. They're not winning a game. Still sticking to that, they're not winning a game because guess what? These Indian guys, right? Some of these guys, they want they're relatively new to the international scene. They want to make a name for themselves. So
Facts.
every game they play, they want to do well. They want to do well. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're saying, okay, yeah, we win already. They still want to shine. They still want to perform. Some of them want to cement themselves in the team. So they're just gonna come all out. They're not gonna ease up. They're not gonna ease up. It's not like us if we ever find ourselves, which we seldomly do. They say, okay, we win already. No, they're not. They're not thinking that way. And like, you know, they should just put Banner in and play Banner for somebody. I don't know. Put Banner because you bring him there and it's 3 games. So just let him get a game. That's the only thing I see for that game. Let Banner get a game because it's 3 games. He's not in the squad for the T20. They don't lose the series already. So why not play Banner? Just play him and let's see.
Okay. All right, Stephen, for you, what changes would they make to the team going into the game tomorrow? And all right, a man like Dima always said that we're negative towards West Indies cricketers. So let's try to find some positive. What can they do tomorrow to get the result that is required?
All right, so the first thing we have to do is drop down Bravo. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
The way he got out, he was not far, he was not back. He was just standing up there. I don't know. So I need to get rid of him, bring in Banner.
Yep.
Yeah, and we could keep the same. I don't think Pollard be fit and ready for tomorrow.
Not sure. I think it's a touch and go situation.
All right, let him stay on the bench and rest and recuperate, and we can keep the team that we have. And Kemar Roach, I don't know what he's doing in the team, but then you have to bring him in for Ramaria Shepherd for him. So Ramaria Shepherd, Kemar Roach. I'll stick with Kemar. Yeah.
I'll go for Shepherd. Let Shepherd just play for his IPL contract.
Well, that's a good thing because them going to kill him with it. But anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
I would just put in Bonner, see how the top order would look to see if he can bat through. And our bowling has been not bad at all.
Facts.
So
Mm-hmm.
we just need to keep bowling in the right areas, and somebody has to take it deep, meaning somebody has to trust the defensive technique and keep the head in the game. Shamar Brooks was almost that man. One of the top four need to take the game deep, whether we're batting first or not. And if we will bowl well, we should be good. So just need to take it deep and leave Smith and so on to do what they do at the back end and Fabian Allen.
Facts. But it goes to show a lot of things. This series itself prove a lot of things that we call for. So Ravman Paul was played good so far over the past about 6 months. He would have done well in a series like this because again, there's no reason for Darren Bravo in the team. I can't see the reason to keep on keeping him. I mean, Brendan King, I like it enough, but Brendan King in ODI, he's not good either. So that is another option that we could have looked at. Push on Brooks as the opener. You could have done that because Brooks has opened before. So you could have him up there, but the decision making in West Indies and it trickles right down into the regional cricket because that is what we're speaking about before it came on, Stephen. That it's just the decision making of these administrators that keeps on having you scratching your head. You can't see through some of the decision they make, and it's just making things worse for the West Indies team. So here's Michelle saying that no Pollard again, please.
Get the
And here's
currents.
Crystal saying that no Pollard, he can play T20.
Okay, good.
All right. Any final say from you guys in regards to West Indies team?
All right. The thing. It's like kind of like remember Stephen was the one mentioned it, and I think we agree. And when you look at the top order guys, and I said it before, like these are guys we say, okay, there's no guy there we say can attack the bowling. So their thing is to butt long, they'll stick around and try to make the runs. Somebody may not have the technique to do so, but you look at say, all right, Levon, you said it. They expect Shea Hope not to have the great strike rate, but he will bat through. So if he fails, this is a perfect setting based on the nature of these guys' game for Shamar Brooks to come in. I remember Steve that said it like these guys they play the same around. They'll dare stick around, soak up a lot of balls that, and then they will try and nudge. There's no guy that's gonna go out there like a different team like to attack the ball. The only person we have to do that within the short form of the game right now, and he's in form is Ravman, and Ravman is not in the squad. So the opportunity when you look at the bowling and these scores, right? The opportunity is there for these guys to just bat and bat long, but nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Like like Brooks almost did it, and if you just to carry on because it's playing to the nature of their game. Because I can't have to go back to it because Steve Nanyal just said it. That this is how these guys play. They'll stick around and it's just, all of them are like they bat the same. Bonner, they come in is the same style of batting. So this kind, like especially the second game, it would have suited their game for somebody just to bat and bat long, but we don't have the technique to do it. So based on the top four and the top five, just stick to your strength and just stick around, bat around, and then see what the bowling can do. Like goes back to everything what Steve is a genius with this. So even if we go on with bat and we do that, it may not be the prettiest Steven, or we get a 230. So we bat first, 220
Mhm.
something. It may be below par. Not maybe, it's definitely below par. But see what the bowling can work, Magic can do there.
Right, right. Yeah.
And if you look at it now, and before I get to Stephen, I'm just going to pinpoint something that's made Devin because even if you look at India's bowling,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise from Krishna throughout the two games so far, none of these guys has been threatening. As long as you see of Thakur and Siraj
Mm-hmm.
with their first outburst, it's like a paradise for batsmen because if you look at Yusuf Chahal, yes, the ball is spinning, yeah, because we've seen it in the second game, but if you can negotiate him, they can easily knock him around, and whenever the opportunity presents itself, you just beat him because it's a man that is known as this now. He's going to bowl some good deliveries, but expect him to bowl at a rank long up. Also, you look at Washington Sundar, he's not doing much. So As long as I get a high in, you can beat this guy. When I see what's the guy name, man? Deepak Hoda comes in and I see this
Oh
man spin the ball
God,
and I see them
man.
keep on playing down. I'm
Lollipop
like,
bowler. Jesus.
beat Steven. This is a man that I've seen in IPL, and whenever Hoda get the ball in IPL, the
Lollipop.
captain is scratching me and say, "What did I just do?" You can't beat this man all day long. So it's not a case as if they are doing that much that West Indies are supposed to be afraid of. And again, the bowling hasn't been bad. In the second game, they had them like 43 for 3. And if it wasn't for Surya Kumar Yadav and what's his name, KL Rahul,
Mm-hmm.
India would have made less. So we have had them on the rope. So the bowling is all right. Nothing is wrong with the bowling. It's just the batting that needs to come together. So, Stephen, what do you have to say about them?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Devin said. But I also believe, because I keep saying there's this debate about whether batsmen should in the West Indies, because we know we're not good to stand and bat and defend. We're not good, that good. So we have to swing, right? There's been a debate whether we should try to negotiate singles between where we get a good ball and a bad ball and all of that. What I'll say is that we need to make sure that we are hitting the ball properly. By the way, Shai Hope got out. I mean, the ball was pitched up, and that ball, 99% of the time, he's going to hit the ball for six or pierce the gap. So I think although we're trying to, bat long and stuff, somebody needs to be there that is actually timing the ball properly and hitting the ball. Like we know West Indians can beat the ball, right? So we can't get into this shell like it's test cricket to play, right? Somebody has to be there who ran, I don't know, somebody has to be there to beat the ball. And if we can get that, you know, I think we should be able to make like a 240, 250 and give our pacers a chance. And Akilo saying not bowling badly at all. Give them a chance. Let's just give them a chance. Because our bowling has to be our trump card over the last couple of years. So we make 240, we can be able to defend.
I love everything you just mentioned, Steve, except for one. You said Nicholas Puran, that man is a chair card, man. That man I play chair card with the brother. Today look good, tomorrow is a totally different
He's a
player. So
West Indian. Every West Indian is like that, probably except Sheho.
chair card never play with the farm. But here's Michelle saying that that's another problem. West Indies let the other team off the hook too often. Go for the kill when you have them done. Facts. That is facts. But we just stage up. We're just going to wrap it up. So I'm just going to go around and give you guys a minute to talk about any other topic. And since West Indies is so disappointing, you don't have to talk about West Indies cricket. So, David, I'm gonna start with you.
But brother, when you talk about anything else, we can't talk about my favorite team them right now.
No,
So
no, no. Just leave that one alone. Too. Don't
yeah,
mention Lakers.
can't talk about Lakers. And then if you talk Real Madrid, we're gonna play PSG next, so that'll give me another headache. so
I
so
say, I was
what am
saying
I
that
to talk about?
you have trouble make a Villarreal Sunday. Eh?
Yeah. Plus then and then so the only thing that's there to talk about is what dominating the world of sports. Because even normal news, I see it on my TV where the Brooklyn trade, and it's just saying like the only thing I'm looking for, because we have a podcast Saturday where you get all the information about it.
Mm-hmm.
This thing with Ben Simmons, right? I'm not gonna go into the trade of who win or who lose. Everybody's saying, okay, he's seen a therapist, and for him to get, he's in Michelle, what's the guy again? Ramona Shelburne or something like that. And Brian went there, and Brian was saying he's in top shape because he was been working out, consistently working out. The only thing is, he see that therapist for mental thing, and it's just once he continues to see the therapist and get over that, then he'll be back playing basketball. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm one of the biggest supporter for this mental health, and with all this Asaka and this tennis player to say, I don't care what it is. It could be the case where the man say go lose or whatever, and then he have a mental nervous breakdown and he just come up all of a sudden. We don't know that. I mean, always defend these players. But I'm saying, what kind of mental health this guy need for so long out of the game, and he constantly has to see this therapist until the therapist give him a favorable rating or score. That's when he can come back and play basketball. So we may never see Ben Simmons play, and it's not because he's not in good shape. Because remember with Clay, at the injury, what that injury the only so called again, Achilles or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
ACL.
Yeah. And then come back and them say, okay, them send him a G League. And not like that for Ben Simmons. Man, this is ridiculous, man.
Probably, probably is a permanent brain problem he has, man.
Must be. So that's just my takeaway, because like all the reports that they're saying is seeing this therapist, and the thing is not because of his physical conditioning. I'm Steven. Like, you know, some of them man who can't make the West Indies team, and not like that. Man is in top shape physical thing. It's just the mental aspect of it. And we don't see where he's like on top of the game. He has not been basketball. You know, don't get about this mental thing problem, because I know a lot of people they're ready to jump on. But this man has not been in the care playing. He's not under any pressure. He's not under any pressure like a KD where he have to deal with Kyrie now take the vaccine. He have this or deal with. He's not been playing. So everything should have been sorted out and him ready to at least start work out with the team and to play the game. Instead of got a therapist to come back. I can't get that.
All right. Steven, your minute.
All right. I just want to say, somebody said something in the chat about us dropping catches. You know, but when we were growing up, I say our generation, right? When we were growing up, the main criticism of the West Indies was not that they weren't good, but is that they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. They didn't know how to close out games with the Lara, Sarwan, Gale, you name them, all the stars. But now we're talking about trying to bat 50 overs. How far we have fallen, and playing qualifications with Nepal and Ireland and Afghanistan. We can't even beat Afghanistan now. We'd struggle.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
So, you know, it is to show how far we have fallen. But just a little bit on football. I am happy to see, you know, Junior Fleming's going to France. Karim Paris, there has been talk about him leaving the Slovenian league because eyes are on him. You know, and the Jamaican footballers making their progress. I just want to twin that with the current issues that have been going on with Kurt Zuma and Mason Greenwood. Kurt Zuma obviously guilty. Mason Greenwood, those are allegations. We don't know if it's true. A lot of people bashing him on judge and jury, but we have not heard the court ruling. But what I'll say, Junior Flemings, Karim Paris, Leon, all of you guys in Europe, there are certain lobby groups that push a narrative, and they are very strong, and they can end your career in minutes. Be careful of your social media etiquette. You know, you have to play a ball and thing and defend your food for your family. But just be careful of your social media etiquette. Because as we're seeing with Zuma and his brother, and we're seeing with Greenwood, even allegations, the career can be done once it is in the purview of certain lobby groups. So guys, hold your head up. I will hope that, you know, this can be for the betterment of Jamaican football.
Biggest speak that you could ever make, Steven. Well done, man. Well done, brother. Big talk. I love them talk. Love them talk.
Of course, man. You just said the man is a. What did you say? I'm also forgetting right now based on the amount of things man just said. The man is a superstar, man.
Yeah, man. A genius, man. A genius.
Producer, you need to tell Steven that he need to come around a bit more.
Yeah, man.
I really thought that, man. But like, yeah, man, talk of uplift the youth, them, man.
Go ahead, producer. What you say, producer?
He's my upcoming doctor.
What you say? He's your upcoming doctor friend, eh?
Yeah.
All right, producer. So respect, gentlemen, for
passing
the game, and thanks to all the commenters. Without you, you know that this is not possible, and I know that you're not used to seeing me on a Thursday because Demo is normally one that normally hosts a cricket podcast, but we had to have a show, man. We had to talk about West Indies cricket, so we were here. And thanks to all those who are behind the screen that don't comment. Big up on yourself, same way. So until tomorrow, we'll be talking about some football, EPL, La Liga, whatever it is. We'll be back here. So until then, enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night.
Right.
Come on, respect.